I was at that moment, I was like, oh my God, what the hell am I doing? While I was in my phase 2, like medic trade training, that's when Captain World passed, the first female. And I was like, you know what, this is something I really want to give a go. Just like looking up in the distance. So it was something I always thought of when I was younger. I used to like watch all like the documentaries on TV, like the TV series, and it was something I was always interested in. I've not got any family background or anything with the military. I was in college at the time, so I was studying economics, history and statistics. But yeah, it wasn't for me. I do feel honoured to be in the military, and like it does make you proud. My parents and that, like, they're like, oh, I'm so proud of you. Like, it's just nice. It's a really nice family to be in. It's kind of, I've always been in that like 50-50, like I've never been in a more male dominated, apart from like maybe when we go away on exercise. It's just really nice that everyone treats each other the same. You know, I've never had any issues being a female in the workplace. I mean, definitely PegasusCompany was probably my main highlight, passing that. You know, it was something I always dreamed of and something that I'd worked so hard for. So being able to actually finally do it and, you know, being the second female and first soldier to do it, it was honestly amazing. Like, I couldn't quite believe it. And then, yeah, probably D-Day as well, to be a big part of history, you know, the big 80th anniversary, something that it's a one-in-a-lifetime experience. And looking back on it, we were talking about it as well, like having the veterans there, this is probably one of the biggest ones that we're ever going to see them again. So just to kind of relive in their footsteps, it was amazing to do. Like, I felt so special. I found them quite scary, not gonna lie. Like, but as soon as you're in the air, it kind of just all goes. But it's the build up, and I think the anticipation. And then obviously that when you're stood up ready to go out the door, like, I personally get all the nerves, and it is a bit like scary, but then I think you just get in the zone at that moment, and then once you're out and your parachute opens, then you're like, oh, I'm okay. Yeah, when I did my parachute training in RAF Prize Norton, it was actually out of, they're called like the Sky Vans. They're these really small little aircrafts, basically. They call it like a transit van with wings, and it's like this tiny little box, and you're like bunched up inside, and then like the back door opens and you can just see everything. And I think when I was at that moment, I was like, oh my God, what the hell am I doing? But then once I was on the ground, I was like, oh, it wasn't that bad. Yeah, the best advice I'd give to anyone wanting to join the army would be definitely do your research, find out what you want to do. The army's a big place, there's lots to learn, lots to find out, and you're always learning while you're here. But yeah, I'd definitely say physically, be in a good physical state before you join. Personally, going through training, I found it a lot easier because I was in a high physical state. Toughest moment in my career? Probably when I failed P Company the first time. I'd probably say, yeah. Failing P Company the first time, that was probably a low moment for me, you know. It was something that I felt really down about. It was something that I'd always wanted, and I felt like that had been taken away from me. And then I had to mentally get through that, and I was like, oh, I do really want this, but you know, I'm not in the right headspace. And then, you know, later on down the line, then I kind of turned that around. But at the time, you know, it was quite mentally draining. But yeah, then getting through that, and on the flip side, that's become the highlight of my career. So it shows, you know, I've put the work in, I've really strived for what I wanted, and it's worked out. Actually, when I did go on to my second attempt where I did pass, the actual training team there were really supportive, and I actually spoke to the Sergeant Major there at the time, and he was like, we really do want you to pass. So for me, that kind of just gave me that boost of motivation. I was like, oh wow, like they actually want me to be here, like, because I think there's that stigma, you know, that a lot of the males are like, oh, you know, like the girls can't pass it. Going up, I was a bit sceptical, especially, you know, being the only female on a physically demanding course. I didn't know how it was going to be. But, you know, you get such a good bond with all the people you're on the course with. You know, everyone wants it just as much as you do. So you really want each other to pass, and, you know, it's just so nice to have that bond with people. And actually when I passed the course and I came back, I was like, wow, I actually kind of miss it, just because you form those like special relationships with people that you've gone through that same experience with them. Oh, good question. The army offer a lot in terms of like where you can go medically, so we can go on to do our nursing degree if we want to. You can go do ODP, you can do your paramedics. But I've always been interested in the paramedic side. We do a lot of hospital placements as medics. You know, you have to get that exposure. We've got to kind of see what it's like, and it just gives us hands-on experience within the role. And personally, you know, I just love the medical side and like helping people. I just love it. So I think, yeah, I'd love to do something along that line, like in the future. Yeah, travel was definitely a big one for me. I'd not really been away a great deal before I joined, you know, like only kind of like local European places. So that was definitely like, that drew me in. I was like, you know, I really want to travel, I want to see the world. And since joining the army, I've managed to go mountain biking in Scotland. I've been rock climbing in Spain. I went to America last year, been Jordan, and then a couple of years ago, when I went to Norway, I did Nordic skiing. And that was just something that, you know, I'd never thought about before I joined the army. It just shows that you do get those opportunities. There is something out there for everyone.